Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome, Cancer, to a special reading for you. I want to first say happy birthday to those who are celebrating their birthday. Happy birthday. Um, this is going to be for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, by the way. Many are intuitively guided. I thank you for paying attention to your intuition. I feel like more and more of you are figuring out that it's more about the energy. Even though we are doing Cancer sign, um, I don't know. I feel like it's the energy of a reading. And these are energy readings, by the way, directly from our spirit guides. So what I'm going to do in this reading is I'm going to ask 6 specific questions. And we're going to use the Universal Tarot that will answer that question. We'll use the Crystal Vision, which will take above it, which will act like a clarify, but really to go deeper. And then I did bring out the major arcanas. We are going Justice on the bottom, Libra. But anyway, so we're going to take just one. And this is asking Divine what major arcana is really the energy of the major arcana. What is supporting you now, but also through the remainder of 2025. So the questions I'm going to ask is number one, what are you consciously or subconsciously manifesting? Sometimes we don't know that we're manifesting. I mean, we could put our wishes out there, but I just feel like there's something that you don't know. Interesting. And I'm picking that up intuitively. So then the next question will be Divine's message to you right now. What do you need to know? How are they supporting you? Whatever message they want to give, we're open to receiving. Um, your potential for the rest of 2025. I decided to add that question in because, we're heading more towards the year's end. So I feel like it's a good time, even though I'm looking for right now. There's probably something that you can do right now that will guarantee you as much as we can guarantee, like a good potential. So, and then I want to know about your love life. New love, old love, existing relationships, whatever spirit wants to talk about. And then your money, your career, your creativity, and how that is going to look and be now and the remainder of 2025. And then last but not least, that major arcana that is supporting you. I have to say, Libra, Justice, like wanted to be seen a few times. All right. So what I'm going to do real quick, everything is always pre-shuffled before you get here. That's my time to meditate on your sign, meditate with your guides, my guides. The way um, my guides put it is my guides connect with your guides. And I do believe we're all one big soul family. So your guides know my guides, and and so on and so forth. Just like we know each other on a soul level. Okay. All right. So we have that ready. And then let's go ahead and just get the Universal Tarot, give it a shuffle. We're going to do one more. I just didn't like the way that shuffled. One more. That's perfect. Give him a cut. Don't think I cut the crystal vision, so I want to. Ooh, okay. That wants to be on top. All right, let me bring the lid down. And if you're ready, I'm ready. So we're going to start with the first question. What are you consciously or subconsciously manifesting right now? The Emperor. Nice. Okay, now for some of you, could be Aries. It is the Aries major arcana. But I have to tell you, I feel like for you, it's more about your leadership abilities. Some of you could be manifesting an actual business. You know, when I think of the Emperor, I do think of the leader, a leader of people, but through compassion and empathy and experience. You know, in a way, I feel like for some of you, this tells me that you've been through a lot, but you did make it. That's what I feel like you did make it or you will make it. I don't know what I mean by that, but somebody does. So that's a great way to start. And it's the number 4. And to me, 4 is about the foundation. And it may ask you, think about the foundation. Let's say you're thinking about creating a business. Well, this definitely tells me that you have the ability. Um, and I don't know, I'm getting this sense of like you on the top of your game. Okay, well, let's take the crystal vision. Hello, Ace of Swords. Beautiful. Truth, communication. Look at the beautiful roses climbing up the, I was going to say vine, but let's say the sword. This is my yes card. So for some of you, I feel like you had an answer or you had a question. Like, can I really build a business for myself? Will I be successful? Some of you, it's about the way you communicate or using communication, like as a skill. But again, if you came here like thinking of starting a business or, you know, adding in a new avenue, I feel like it's saying yes. Yes. But I also feel like this is tied to your communication, your truth, and then you speaking it. That's beautiful if, you know, if you are helping to lead others, it's letting me know that you're leading through, well, probably spiritual truth. You may not even know that. Hmm. Some of you, I feel like you may have been guided to this path. And maybe you don't know a lot about business ownership. But but you really do have everything it takes. You know, it's just putting yourself out there. But then the confirmation of the Ace of Swords definitely makes me feel that whatever you're doing, other people will respond in a loving way. Hmm. Okay. I don't know why I put this deck here because I knew I was going to use it. This is the Gilded Tarot, and I think what I'm going to do is well, let's actually do it right now. We're going to take one below. So let's give them a quick shuffle. And I already planned on using them. Look at that, Justice on the bottom. What is going on with Justice? You know, Justice is about balance. What's fair and just to you. It can certainly represent, cutting a ties with someone or something. But again, if you're cutting ties, it's because whatever's connected to it is making you feel unbalanced. Okay, let's go ahead and take one below it. Well, hello, sun. Your illuminator. It's like a brand new day. It's unencumbered energy. It's like after weeks and weeks of rain, the sun comes out. It warms you. It excites you. It gets you wanting to move. Interesting. Two fires. Two fire signs. This is Leo's ruler, the sun. But this is your illuminator. And how beautiful that it's not only illuminating the emperor, which means if the emperor is a person for you, well, again, this is what you are consciously or subconsciously manifesting. Then I feel like if it's a person, well, then this person comes in the light. Like nothing to fear here. And if it is a person, one of the things you could ask yourself is, do you feel that this person is empathetic and compassionate towards others? I always feel like it's a great idea. Like if you meet someone new, you go on a date, just kind of sit back. I mean, get in the conversation, but just watch them, without them knowing. But watch how they treat other people, how they treat the waiter or the waitress. Wherever you go, like how do they treat other people? I feel like that's a big clue for you. Okay, well, let's see Divine's take on this. Wow. Hello, Temperance. Wow. So, Temperance, first of all, card of Sagittarius. Well, you're getting all this fire, Cancer. Um, Temperance's first message is patience, but it's about trusting in divine timing. Sometimes we want something and we want it now, but maybe, just maybe, it's not quite ready. That's really what I feel temperance is doing is, well, I often say mixing the loving waters of soulmates. And that may be the case for some, but I feel like, patience was needed and then trusting in divine timing. Well, with the energy we have now, I feel like divine timing is probably now. So let's take the crystal vision. Five of Pentacles. Okay, so something happened. And then the Knight of Swords. All right. So, Temperance asking you to have patience. And then the Five of Pentacles comes out. Five of Pentacles really speaks of something that happens outside of your control. Unless it was you kind of surprising someone else. Like, I've had enough. I'm done. The sun is out. The path is clear. Some of you have been recovering. Five is about a change. So Temperance is asking for some type of change. But I feel like it's more energetic than anything. In the Five of Pentacles energy, it is difficult. But where this person is moving, really unbeknownst to them, is to soulmate energy of all forms. Like, I could see someone meeting like their best friend, could be meeting a love, that is like no other. But it is energy. In the Five of Pentacles, we don't have the luxury of not continuing to move forward. But again, this change, sometimes I feel like divine is what ushers in this change. And even though it can feel uncomfortable, and Uranus just went into the sign of Gemini, and it really is asking us to step out of our comfort zone, amongst many other things. Actually, in Gemini's reading, I really broke it down. But I feel like it's important for everyone to know how it's going to affect their sign. So, again, stepping outside of the box, taking chances. So, anyways, I feel like what temperance, where the patience was allowing you to overcome the energy of the Five of Pentacles. And then we have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is some type of communication that's coming in. Well, we do have the Ace of Swords already, so this knight, and I say this all the time, a knight will complete their mission come hell or high water. You don't have to accept it. You can say no. But the communication, or whatever the knight is carrying, still comes in, and this knight has brought in the Ace of Swords. So here it is already. And it's interesting because I feel like for some of you, Temperance is saying that there was energy or someone that you may have given a lot of energy to, and it just didn't work out. But I have a feeling it wasn't meant to work out. And I know that upsets some people, like, if you're still hung up on someone, and that is your choice. But I feel like Temperance is talking about something new. Now, it doesn't have to be love. It may be a new opportunity. It may be an opportunity for your light to truly shine. So, coming under Divine's message for you, and then Temperance coming out, which is all about trusting in divine timing. We know our guides are here. Not that I had any doubt. All right, so let's continue on. Your potential for the rest of 2025. Another 5. But this is the 5 of Cups. Interesting. So Temperance has a few 5s around her. 5 of Cups. I don't feel like this is you moving forward, focusing on the things that you have lost, the people, the love that didn't work out. And that's really what this person is doing in the 5 of Cups. They're focusing on what they have lost. But the beauty of the 5 of Cups, again, a number 5, change, is when this person says, you know what? I'm not going to focus on this any longer. It hurt. I can see that in the 5 of Pentacles. But in the same breath, am I kind of putting my life on hold? Because the truth of the matter is, there are 2 cups. And it's interesting that it's following Temperance, who, again, well, you can see it. Like she's literally mixing what I feel are the loving waters between these 2 cups. Well, in the 5 of Cups, here's what's gone wrong, what didn't work out. It's almost like they're wearing the cloak of the dagger, or the cloak of the dagger, the cloak of the hermit. So maybe it is about, instead of like focusing on it, maybe it's about understanding it more on a spiritual level because there's two cups. This person doesn't even know exists yet. Doesn't mean they don't know who may be in one of these cups. But right now, it's showing us where, not everyone, but some of you, where your focus is at. And this is exactly what temperance talks about. Some of you could be waiting for, well, I get the sense that I had really hoped that something would work out, but I just don't feel like it did. But that's not the end. This is just the beginning. That's coming directly from divine. This is just the beginning. It may be the end of one thing, but my God, it may be the beginning of something. Mm, 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 mm. Someone left me a comment, said they don't like it when I do that. mm, mm, mm. I don't know what else to do. That's just what I feel. Okay. Crystal vision. Beautiful. Eight of Cups. Beautiful. Why? Number one, this is you allowing yourself to have a new beginning. This means that this focus in the Five of Cups, the problem with the Five of Cups is that we can get lost within the cups that have been knocked over. It literally can turn into woe is me. Some people would explain this card as crying over spilt milk. Now, I wouldn't say that because I feel like it's much deeper. But look at you go. This means you found or you're finding that emotional clarity. This means you're allowing yourself to have this new beginning after these changes of the five. And both these fives difficult. So why wouldn't I want to change that? This is taking a chance. This person is moving to the Nine of Cups, and that's inner harmony and fulfillment of wishes. Well, I feel like Divine has quite a wish in store for you. As spiritual energy goes, that's really quite beautiful. I noticed that. Like, I noticed the, let's say, shadow work. And I hate to use the word work. Let's just say understanding. But on a spiritual level, to use on this earthly plane. The High Priestess, your intuition, your GPS in this lifetime. I often relate the High Priestess as like a GPS. You go to this new city, you've never been there before. Maybe you're going for a job interview, but you have no idea where it's at. What do? You type the address in your GPS and you follow that. Kind of blindly, right? But you do follow it. Not that you can't change courses, you can. But this is really your intuition calling to you. And this is you listening. Like, I feel very proud of you right now. Okay. So, your love life. The Ace of Pentacles. Wow. That means someone is coming into your physical world. That's what the Ace of Pentacles represents. You may start as a seed, but through nurturing, the seed will grow and blossom and blossom. This feels almost like a karmic reward. So it's interesting how I said I don't like saying, you doing your spiritual work, but yet I feel like, well, here's a reward for it. But it's falling in your love life. And how interesting it's sitting right next to those two cups. There's a lot of power in this reading. All right, crystal vision above. The tower. But let me tell you, I'm not worried about the tower. I feel like it's you giving the tower to your old life. And anyone who is part of it that just is, let's just say, not on the same playing field any longer. In no way do I feel like this tower is coming for you. I feel you are the one giving the tower. Why? Well, because it looks like you are finding emotional clarity, maybe like never before. And especially that Eight of Cups right next to it. Like, bye bye. Bye bye. Ten of Swords. That makes sense. Ten of Swords mirroring the Tower. So some of you could have been in a repeat pattern with someone, and that draws me right back to the Five of Cups, or even the Five of Pentacles, where this could have been on and off type of communication. Mind games, mind games. Wow. Cancer, you have such loving, nurturing souls that I just get mad if someone plays mind games with you. But I feel like you recognize that now. I'm not going to say that because it does feel like you're leaving someone. And I'm not going to say there weren't good times, but something, no wonder we kept seeing justice. You are cutting ties. You are cutting ties. And these ties that you're cutting are freeing you. I feel like for a lot of you, this energy that's coming in, I feel like is very unexpected, yet very well earned. Ten of Swords is dagger after dagger in your back. It is a repeat pattern. So, I feel like some of you must have had this realization. Not only have you had the realization, but you're saying no more. And you're off. You're off. How interesting at this moment, the Emperor and the Ace of Pentacles are mirroring each other. So, how beautiful as it relates to your money. And then Temperance and the Five of Cups are mirroring each other. So, patience, trusting in divine timing, telling you that there's two cups that I don't feel like you've met yet. Or you may know them. I just don't feel like you expected to, let's say, if you choose, move into potentially another relationship. This Ace of Pentacles isn't, how do I say this? It's a great omen because it's telling you it's coming, it's not just energetic, it's literally coming into your physical world. But yeah, I do feel like there was a little house cleaning I needed to do first. And I feel like you did it. That Eight of Cups alone feels like it's setting you free. But that was your choice. So be proud of that. Let's just put it this way. Anyone that you've been in a repeat pattern with, anyone who's been, communication is on and then off and then on, I don't feel like you're dealing with it anymore. And I certainly don't feel like your guides want you to. But that is free will. I feel like enough is enough. Okay, well, let's keep going. So let's look at your money. Money, 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 money. Strength card. Card of Leo. This is really looking within. It's much like the Eight of Cups. In the Strength card, it's really taming the inner beast within us, and we all have that inner beast. The shadow, the light, the feminine, the masculine. We're a mix of all. But this is another eight. She's got the infinity sign above her head. No wonder temperance is involved. As above, so below. No beginning, no end. I feel like at this point, you have become a new person. Maybe not in all areas of your life, but it feels like every area is only improving, becoming stronger. Look at this under your money. The Emperor again. Business ownership. Leader of the people. This is someone who, likes to put plans together, likes to follow a plan, methodical. And becoming the leader of the people, to me, means that I myself have gone through a lot. But it's about the things that I've overcome. Like, you were meant to be at the top of your game. You were meant, and I'm saying meant. This could be a soul's request. Like, I want to own my own business. So interesting. I did a personal reading yesterday, and I don't want to give a lot away, but she was a photographer, and she got this, and I said, "Look at that." It's the first time I ever noticed that he literally had a camera in his hand. We have the Five of Swords. How interesting, the Ten of Swords just came down to the Five of Swords. Cancer, I feel like you're helping other people to overcome the same challenges that you yourself have overcome. This is not a wasted life. This is a life that's been planned. I feel like even the difficult things, why? Like, why you? Because you have a strong soul, because you're old and wise as it comes to your spirituality. Not all souls can handle some of these energies, but because you did, here comes what I feel like, again, is a beautiful reward. But listen, I feel like it's coming both in money, but also in love. That 10 down to that 5, mirroring the Emperor. Remember, the Emperor also has the Sun and the Ace of Swords connected. Some of you're helping people to overcome their own inner demons, their own inner challenges. And you're qualified. Sometimes people think we need book smarts to like own a business or to be a leader. I disagree. I'm not saying that it hurts. I feel like it's more about life's experiences as it relates to the type of energy I'm feeling right now. All right, well, let's see what major arcana is supporting you right now. So we'll give them a shuffle. Oh, and I'm actually going to let this card come to me. Just give them a cut, introduce them into the existing reading. Then what I want to do, just kind of want to fan them out. So I feel like that's it. The tower. Interesting. The tower. How could the tower be supporting you? Well, I'll tell you how the tower could be supporting you. It may be energy that became so resistant that it almost feels like I didn't have any other choice. I feel like there's some things that ended that maybe you were having a hard time ending. So your guides helped you end them. See the crystal vision above? Oh my gosh. Ace of Cups. And below, well, there's our Hermit. Spiritual wisdom. You know, you either see the Hermit going into the cave, which means, the Hermit, chances are, is in the dark night of the soul, seeking the light. This Hermit has emerged from the cave and is sharing his beacon of light outwardly. You can't really see it here. Well, yeah, here. Usually you'll see like this snake as a belt around the Hermit. But here, the snake is below. And his beacon of light is illuminating that snake. It's a sense of peace, a sense of knowing. I feel like it's a sense of being able to let go of fear. I feel like some of these snakes might be more energetic, but I feel like you're at the point where you can pick them up, see them. Like, I just don't feel like they can have an effect in your life any longer. I feel like you're evolving tremendously. This is a very spiritual energy, and I often feel the Hermit is a wise old soul. And it's interesting because I just literally said that about you. The Hermit is mirroring this Ace of Cups. So even though we have the Tower, I'm not feeling the Tower is for you. I feel like it's you deciding who and what you're giving the Tower to. It just means ending, right? The ending. People that you're giving it to may not even expect it. But it doesn't feel like it's of your concern anymore. This Hermit is focusing towards the future. And I do love that it's mirroring the Ace of Cups. So if this is speaking about someone that potentially you're going to meet, because we do know without seeing it, even though we are going to pull other cards, but without seeing it, we do know that there's soulmate energy on the table. We know that there is a lot of ability on the table. Like You're just wise old souls. And these aces, you have three aces, by the way. The Ace of Swords, which I feel like is your voice, your communication, but it may be also of another. But I don't want to negate the first thing I said. And then the Ace of Pentacles means it's coming, something is coming into your physical world. Well, it's in line with the Emperor, but also these two cups. And I just feel like with the Hermit mirroring the Sun, I mean, you want to talk about spiritual illumination. You know, it's almost like I feel like I am seeing the evolution of you. And by the time we get here, any snakes don't have a chance. And I don't know if I should be calling them snakes, but all right, let's see what's on the bottom of the decks. Look at that, the Ace of Swords. Wow, wow, wow. Crystal Vision, Six of Pentacles. Well, how interesting, because in the Five of Pentacles, which is in that same line right there, now we have the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles really talks about that fine art of give and take. It is mirroring the Ace of Cups, by the way, which is kind of beautiful because this is a very empathetic and compassionate energy. One of the lessons I feel like we need to learn within the Six of Pentacles is, who am I giving my energy to? Is it producing any results? You know, like in any way. Like if I'm giving money, is it helping their life? Or are they just wasting that money that you worked so hard for? If you're giving your love and attention to someone, are they able to give it back? Because that's important. And I feel like that's probably what you're looking for ultimately, is an equal give and take, really, as it relates to everything in your life. But I feel like what this is showing us is how you have grown. You know, you are naturally empathetic and compassionate, naturally. And this feels like, again, the energy of unencumbered. Why? Well, I feel like the Hermit has a lot to do with that. So I feel like you're pretty clear on who and what deserves your energy, who and what you can help, and who and what is just taking. And then let's look at the Gilded Tarot. We have the Ten of Wands. Interesting, because we also have the Ten of Swords. But the Sun is illuminating that. So let's talk about the Ten of Wands just for a second. Ten of Wands is a period of heavy responsibilities. It literally is like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You know, if this is talking anything about a relationship, then it does not seem fair. It does not seem equal. That's was then. Remember, these tens, they want to end. And I do feel like you do end it, which means that you also end this. But why? Well, I feel like the Sun, it's illuminating that for you. Maybe like, okay, I do give, but I tend to give to the wrong type of people. Why is that? Well, that's where the Strength card comes in. Look within. You know, we can't change other people. We can't control other people. But we can control, and change ourselves. And I just get the feeling that you are giving the tower to anything and anyone that just is no longer fitting. You know, it is like putting that square peg in a round hole. It's not working. It doesn't matter how many times you try it, it's still not going to work. And I feel like that's what the Ten of Swords is representing. And listen, we could talk all day about the things that didn't go right, but I feel like let's talk about the things that are going right. So, temperance, divine timing, where she's literally mixing, again, the waters of the soulmates, the Five of Cups right next to her. The patience, I feel like, is more you letting go of these emotional situations that you really just cannot control. And that is exactly what you're doing. And I feel like through that energy, the Eight of Cups brings in the Ace of Pentacles. And who knows, this Ace of Pentacles may come in before you end a certain situation, but I definitely feel like the Ace of Swords is you. Well, I feel it's a couple different things. But now that we have the Ace of Swords twice, and this Ace of Swords is mirroring the Tower, where this Ace of Swords is mirroring the Ace of Cups, I feel like you're cutting ties. I don't know what else to say about that. I just feel like you're cutting ties. But I feel like on a spiritual level, you know, I feel like whoever you've been dealing with on an emotional level, I don't know. It just, like, I don't know. I feel mad, sad, yet not everyone knows how to love. And not everyone can take your energy, Cancer. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, too bad for them. Okay, let's bring out the clarifying love situations. One more. Didn't like that shuffle. Okay, let's give him a cut. You know, I know a lot of you. Um, Even those who don't think I know them, I know you on a soul level. Like my guides allow me to feel that. And I do know that some of you have been kind of stuck in this loop. And who knows, maybe Uranus going into Gemini is actually helping you. Well, I don't know why I'm saying actually. I feel like it is helping you. Maybe one of the ways it's helping you is because, again, it doesn't want you to live within your comfort zone. You know, if things are not good, some people just have a hard time with change and therefore never make a change. And you got to be careful of that because I could see years down the road being like, oh, woe is me, woe is me. But in the same breath, do you have chances for or opportunities to enhance your life, but then don't take them? And I'm not judging you at all, not at all, because that's free will. And I think the only reason I'm saying it is because I feel like when we have these types of realizations, this is when we say no more. Okay. I don't know if I said this is the clarifying love situations. So it's interesting. On each side is a message. And of course, you're going to read it on, whichever way it came out. What came out sideways? This is not the first time it's happened to me. So I'm going to read both. All right, but let's start with Revelations Canvas. Expose truths and divulge secrets to create a masterpiece of clarity. Expose truths and divulge secrets to create a masterpiece of clarity. Interesting. Between the lines, uncover the truth carefully and write your own ending. I feel like that is such an important message that we forget that we are the authors of our story. We are the writer, the creator. And yes, we are working hand in hand with divine, but our free will allows us to create in any way we see, in any way we want. Inner compass. Trust your instincts to lead you in the right direction. Inner compass. Trust your instincts, High Priestess, to lead you in the right direction. It's exactly what Temperance is saying to you. Trust your intuition. This is where we send the signs. Though I also want to say, for some of you, you're going to see like combination of numbers, old songs. They're going to bring up certain types of memories. I feel like it's meant to happen. Melancholy, who knows? These two cups could be someone you know, but really, maybe, I don't know. Like, I feel like, what, hadn't considered love? All right, let's bring out the romance angels. And then we'll let it be. Ace of Swords and Ace of Cups mirroring each other. How beautiful. The Hermit and the Sun mirroring each other. Even the Tower and the Emperor. That can represent the losing of a job. But then you creating your own thing. Sometimes we feel like, well, that's the end of the world. Then we get into our creative selves and we're like, well, you know what? I have a lot of wisdom. Maybe I should give myself a chance. Maybe I should just try. Again, remember the Emperor has no problem with making plans. And for some of you, that may be the ticket, like putting a plan in place, but then also being willing to go off script where need be. I should have looked up before we began how Uranus is affecting your sign. Let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. I feel like that can be talking about your love and your money. Because I feel like there are some let's just say good surprises, though well earned, that are heading your way. It's just allowing it to unfold. No need to control. And, to me, that's a sense of comfort, knowing that I can trust in divine. The divine has my back. Free yourself, and the rest will follow. It's time to take back control of your life. And I feel like that's exactly what you're doing. This unicorn, it reminds me of temperance because this unicorn could get up, hop right over that fence anytime I wanted to. But it's not. It's calm. It's waiting for divine. It's waiting for divine timing. And then it will get up and then it will hop over that fence. It's time to take back control of your life. And you are. And you're telling some people that. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And last but not least, passion. Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And then allow your heart, and I feel like why it's saying allow your heart to sing, your soul to sing with joy, is because of the Ace of Cups, is because of the Ace of Pentacles, even the Ace of Swords. Let's not forget, we have the Knight of Pentacles down here. And we know that's going to be some type of communication. But I feel like it's twofold. I feel like Cancer is staking their claim. And let's just say, as love goes, in a way, like, I just want you to be surprised. But I do want you to understand that the Ace of Cups speaks of unconditional love. And I even love it next to the Emperor because, yes, it can be in Aries for some of you. It can be a father figure. But just the type of person. And someone who has definitely been through a lot. You may find as you connect that you have very similar experiences. Like you are the Empress. I am the Empress. You are the Emperor. Can't think of what song I'm thinking. It's a Beatles song. Anyway. Wow, Cancer. Happy birthday to you. It's like the Ace of Pentacles is your birthday gift. You unwrap it. When you unwrap it, there's the Ace of Cups. I feel like very little of this do you expect, though I'm hoping that you are consciously trying to manifest, let's just say, a better life, emotional clarity. Like, I feel like you'll find that. I do feel like you have to be willing to walk away from those who just are not going to change, because I feel like many of you here, if not all of you, are evolving on a spiritual level. And as we evolve, and I know this in my own life, those with lower vibrational energy who chooses to live that way, which is their choice, right? We can't be like, well, shame on you. That's their choice. That's their free will. But that doesn't mean we have to live in it. And again, as our vibration lifts, so does that comes to us. So I don't feel like this Ace of Cups is like love. I feel like it is love. It is love. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it there. Um, I loved it, Cancer. You know, there's a few areas that I know are difficult, but this is definitely showing us that there really is nothing you cannot overcome. And the things that you do overcome become your wisdom. And maybe even you use that to help others so they can avoid that same trap that you found yourself in. You know, it just looks like everything is getting better. Everything. But it didn't come without some work, right? And you did have to free yourself. Then the rest will follow. I love you guys. Look at that. The tower doesn't even want to stay. Go away. Go away, tower. Except I feel like that's you giving the tower. All right. I love you guys. I thank you. Happy birthday again for those celebrating a birthday. My grandson's right on the cusp of Cancer and Leo, the 23rd. Um, and I don't have any cancers in my family, which is weird because I feel like I know you so well. I know you so well. So let it begin. I love you. I thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.